Welcome back, everyone. How are you all doing today? What a wonderful, wonderful Friday I'm having today. Alright, so welcome back to obviously PV WolfCreek by Mr. Dajnet. Alright, so let's get into some gameplay. There we go. So, currently in beginning of April, and yep, try to get a few crops into the field. Obviously, since last streaming, I have gone through and obviously got these two done there. I've done a little bit of other things around the map. Currently got a worker going on at this big field here that I combined. Planting some corn. Also, that's a big thing needed on this map, that's for sure. And I'm currently just carrying on with some cranberries. So I've had the hard worker doing its dues, but seems to have missed a fair bit, so I thought I'd take over for a little while. So hopefully you guys are all having a great day. How you doing, Oppies? Welcome in. There we go. Yeah, I had a little look at that storages, and yeah, they don't actually have any shader issues from my end, which is very strange. So it could be whatever's following on from that era. Hey, Mr. Neon, how are you doing, buddy? Right, so let's see if I can get this wheel to work today. It's making some funny old noises, but hopefully it'll behave in time. Right, go. Let's get this little bit here. I hate missing bits. And we'll go back for those little edge parts there. Which I'm probably doing now, to be honest. Yeah, I hope you guys are all having a great Friday. Obviously, it is almost the weekend. Also, Mr. Dajnet will be going live in just a couple of hours. From what I understand, there is going to be a map creating stream today. So he's carrying on, obviously, with his new map. So, yeah. Fun and games, fun and games. Kind of hoping to get another stream in this weekend with obviously my daughter. Obviously she's got one more week, I think it's a day or two, I can't remember exactly now, before she goes back to school, so I thought, wow, might as well get some stream time in at least before she goes back with her. So, here we go. Let's do a couple of quick headlands. Definitely been a very interesting day, shall we say, for me. Had a message from one of the community. I'll just go start there. It's going to be around about the 4th of September. Around that sort of time. It's usually the Monday just after. I can't remember the exact date actually. Let me actually have a look, see if I can have a look at my calendar a sec. Calendar, where are you on my phone? Dang it. There we go. Alright, so August, September. So obviously the 4th is a Sunday, so they'll be going back on the 5th of September, or thereabouts. So that's not too bad. So yeah, just over a week until she goes back. Obviously for the guys in the UK, it is a bank holiday, which is kind of nice. And come on, wheel, sort yourself out. Help the program temporarily. There we go. Actually, I can do that now. Get that loaded up. Might not be connecting quite right. It doesn't feel quite right to me. I'm glad that none of my sound issues are current at the minute, and obviously I'm keeping a close eye on my internet. Obviously the last stream was cut a bit abruptly, I suppose is the best way of putting it, due to the internet dying and Twitch doing some maintenance from what I understand. It was a bit of a pain. But so far, the last 24, 36 hours, it's been. It seems to be pretty good actually. 48 hours, close to actually. Now thinking about it, haven't had any disconnections or anything, so obviously what I ended up doing is phoning them up straight after Wednesday's stream with my daughter. Got onto them saying what in the heck's going on, really not happy with the service that I've been getting provided with recently, and they ended up going through, obviously tested the lines first, said everything seemed to be showing fine, typical. My kids start on Thursday. Alright, okay. Yeah, it depends on where you are as well in the UK, because different areas start at different times. But yeah, she's going back, obviously, around about the 5th, I think it is. God, it's hard to believe. It just seems like yesterday she was a baby. But yeah, so obviously they ended up resetting all the routers and stuff or whatever from their end, and touchwood so far had no issues. Obviously this is going to be the first stream since that's happened, and as yet it seems to be behaving itself, including the Wi-Fi actually, strangely. So far, fingers crossed, all good. Is all I can say. Right then, so let's get this spun around and start on this end, because it'll be a lot easier. There we go. But yeah, there is some news I would like to share with you guys about what has recently happened today. Obviously, I'd really prefer if Dave was here so he could put his comment to it as well. There's nothing that should affect you guys, but yeah, should be all fine. I still got a shader error on the stone crush. Can you send me your log file with that on it? Because obviously, as far as I'm aware, I'm not getting anything off of them. Let me just scroll up through here. So I'm getting the good old Lua memory usage. Anyway, that's a little bit better, you can see it from there. The only other one I'm really getting, obviously I've got the stone crushing down, the stone processing. Let's see, I know I had one error. Go up, go up, go up. Oh, where is it, where is it, where is it? Somewhere up here. There, so I've got this one here, the custom shader hash collision. That's the only one I've got, and it's actually coming off the Gold Masters. Obviously there is one on the Pepsi factory, which I've actually fixed and sent off to Dave, so when he next updates WolfCreek, obviously that will be getting added. JD's actually tested the update for Stone Crusher, so what it could be is just maybe an old file still left in there. So, but yeah, if you send it over, I'll have a little look after the stream while Dave's live. Right, so hopefully that'll connect up, and yeah, I'll let you know, because it's definitely an interesting issue. But yeah, obviously, as far as I'm aware, Mr. Dave's going to sort out the Gold Master. Obviously, I've got the Pepsi done. Obviously, there is hopefully going to be an update, obviously, to the Stone Crusher as well. I'll pop over there in a short while, just to show you what I've basically been doing. It's a simple little update, but hopefully it'll make you guys a little bit happier. Yes, fresh shader. Stone Crusher. Yeah. I'm not sure they actually have shades. I'll have to have a look, because normally what happens if I find there's a shader issue with them, is I'll probably just delete them or actually find the most relevant up-to-date one, which is very strange. I'll have a little look in a sec. Quickly actually at the i3D. This guy on hired helper. See, spun around. Just get that lined up first of all. Turn that off, the unhired helper. watch that while I'm just having a quick look. My daughter has 2 years of school left. All right, yeah. And okay. My son starts a new school this year. Time flies. Yeah, no, it is ridiculous. Right, so let me just have a quick peruse at something a minute. Desktop, WolfCreek, Stone Crusher, Stone Mill. Yeah, probably Stone Crusher. Um, Stone. Why the heck's the Stone Crusher on here? Stock product, Stone Crusher, there it is. So let's extract that one and I'll have a quick look at that one. And Stone Mill as well. Loading pipe. Oh, I need to take that out. Open. Let's see, shaders. Any shaders on there? Decal shader, that's pointing in game. Glow shader in game. UV scroll shader pointing in game, and a vehicle shader. Glass shader. Oh, okay, there's a few on there, so it could be any of them. Okay. But they're all pointing to the in-game one, so that should be fine. Normally, if you get an error, it's a custom one. Let's see. What else is there? Yeah, it's just all the in-game ones, so I'm not sure why that is. Possibly what you could try and do is actually delete it and re-download it and see if that works as well. Oppies. Let's have a little look at this Stone Mill, isn't it? It's the other one. As far as I'm aware, that's only a building, so I don't think that's got any shaders on it as it is. But let's have a little look. Hopper, stone feeder, warnings, decal. There's a decal shader and a UV scroll, but they're both pointing in game, so it should be fine. A vehicle shader as well, which should be fine as well, to be honest. But yeah, send it over and I'll definitely have a look at that. But that's kind of weird how you're getting them. Anywho, fun and games. Yeah, one thing I would say as well, if you do get any errors off of it, because obviously I've tested it, I know Dave's checked it over and stuff like that. Try deleting it and then re-downloading a fresh copy of any of the mods. Especially if you say, for instance, you download the map, for instance. Obviously, that is a huge file to start off with. If you load into the game, so this is something that came up on the SGA website earlier as well, is somebody has actually gone into their save game and got a buttload of errors for like the palettes and stuff. What it could be is it's just partially downloaded, so just delete the map from your mod folder, download a fresh copy of it, and it should be fine. Obviously, the same thing can be said with the factories and such as well. Cool. So yeah, interesting day, that's for sure. Right, so while that's actually on a hard helper, what I'm just going to show you guys is what I've been up to over the last couple of days. Obviously, for any of you guys that's watched Mr. Reaper over the last few days, you've probably seen them have a stone, not stone, what stone? Heck, a seed maker. And obviously that was one I've done for him. It's basically the old global company one from 19. It's quite a nice little one actually. Obviously it's actually given me a few additional modding experiences, I suppose the best way to put it. Obviously one is to do with pipe effects, and that is basically what I've been doing. Let me... I think I'll grab a trailer first of all. That has a output pipe on it. I'll just at least one for today, and I'll go wagon or something. Be fine. Let me pop into here a sec, grab a... Oh, excuse me. And I'm just going to release this for now. Set my log to you. Alright, uppies, I will have a look in. Yeah, once Dave goes live, then I can actually concentrate on it and have a look. But thank you very much for that, buddy. Yeah, so as I said, I'm kind of hoping to get a quick stream in tomorrow, maybe a couple of hours with the door, doing a bit of ARC or something. We'll see. Obviously, she's definitely up for it. Obviously, it's convincing. Obviously, the wife. There we go. Let's get you attached, and we'll head off down to my Stone Crusher. Obviously, one thing I am trying to aim to do is have all of the different factories on my save game, going from tier 1 up to tier 4. So obviously if any of you guys have an issue, I can jump in, show you what you need to do, stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely need to start getting into more of the map itself. I think at some point, I am still waiting on my Poplar to become ready. It's very close, I think it's on its last stage now. So I can actually get in, get that cut, build up, and obviously you can use it for making electricity in the biofuel place. Right, so as I mentioned, the Stone Crusher does have an update. It's going to be the big bugger over here. Now obviously when I originally created it, or converted it I should say, from 19, I added a different loading trigger. Obviously it took me, I had a lot of errors, issues with the original one. I didn't have a clue really what I was doing. Obviously doing the seed maker for Mr. Reaper actually gave me the experience on how to do the output pipe effects and stuff. So basically when you roll under the pipe now here and hit the R key, let me go to the line for example, it will now actually fill up, and obviously you've got your effects there as you see. And I also upped the loading speed as well, so obviously it does have quite a big capacity overall. It's like 500,000 litre capacity for each product. So obviously you don't want to be waiting there like 10 minutes just for it to fill up a wagon like this or a trailer or whatever. So yeah, I did up that a bit, and that's basically all that's going to be updated to it. Obviously that unload effect. One thing I do want to do, because I am kind of cringing at it really at the minute, is redoing this. I know one thing that does seem to be having an issue with this is when you place this down, the salt processor, and you've got the animated objects mod, for some reason it's causing a slight error with the gates. Obviously I've had to take it off temporarily, but I want to redo this completely because I don't think it fits in this fence. At the time I thought, oh yeah, that's quite nice, put it on there, but as time's gone on and it's been here and I see it all the time, I really don't like it, to be honest. I kind of want to go back to the fence that was there kind of originally, but maybe just do it slightly differently. Plus obviously with the gate as well, when you place it down, the collisions don't seem to match up. Obviously you can still see there that it's still slightly off. I have tried many times to get it right and I just do not know what is going on with it. Go on, close that. So yeah, I'm probably going to redo that at some point, maybe if it's needed for the next map. I might even just do away with the fence area altogether. But yeah, so at least for now, obviously the Stone Crusher has got an update to sort of obviously that fill pipe textures, and so you can actually load up properly. Obviously the Pepsi factory, obviously because of the last update, has now had to be fixed for the same error that I got earlier. Obviously I know Mr. Dave's going to be going through sorting out the error on the Gold Master, which is another shader hash collision error or something like that. So yeah, fun and games. No idea what's going on. But yeah, just so you guys are still aware, you cannot have the maps in the same folder. obviously Uncharted and Goldcrest can stay in the same folder together. For the simple fact they've got an additional field type built into the map that isn't on the other 3 maps currently. Not sure whether Dave's actually going to add them in to WolfCreek or not. Obviously it's going to be the sorted potatoes and the poplar chip fill. I think those are the only 2. Obviously that's the only difference between all the maps really. If they're all the same, then they can all go in with like WolfCreek and Volcano Island, but at the minute, no. Obviously, WolfCreek, Volcano Island can be kept in the same folder. Obviously, one thing is Volcano Island does need to be updated, so it does match into. You may or may not get some warnings on products, but it shouldn't be too much of a hassle with that if you are running Volcano Island. Obviously the other one is NBCA because we need to be kept in its own folder. So yeah, a bit of a pain really. Obviously it's mainly because of obviously on the mine top where NBC added a roof to one of the mines. Obviously he's had to go through all the different mods and make sure that the trigger icons are raised up because of that. Bit of a pain, but yeah. So, it's just showing you a little bit of what I've been up to. Engine off. The other thing I have been doing is the orchards. Obviously, this is not going to be coming out to you guys yet. It's probably going to be when it comes to the next map that Dave's working on. Also, you can see right here I've added some pallets. So on the outside here, we do have pallets for your solid fertilizer, your lime, and your herbicide. And obviously when you add your products in to the trigger, when they hit a certain level, these will start spawning. Obviously you can't pick them up or nothing because they're just a visual, kind of like how the other pallets are. Another thing with the orchards as well now, obviously we do have the output product visuals. Obviously each one of these bays will have its own fruit stacking into it. And the nice thing is I have been able to sort out the huge frame rate drops that I was getting with it. If I hit F5, you can actually see a silhouette of where all the pallets will be. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bays on that side for your output products. And on this side as well, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 products. So that makes up the 11 products. The thing I still need to go through on that one, they should not have any triggers on that. I might have missed a couple. That's easy sorted. I shall make a note of that later. Screen, back 4, okay. So obviously they are still a bit of a work in progress, these things.
Billy is a nuisance. He will be gone in 2 weeks. I apologize for this inconvenience.
Thank you very much for the welcome verb there. I love hearing that when it goes off on Boomer's chat. It's so funny. Or Boomer streams, they're cool. Yeah, obviously you got your empty pallets there. So obviously, if you have a mixed orchard, so if you've got all 11, say for instance, going, each bay will spawn the pallets as it fills. In addition, also I did move two of the triggers. One is the teleport trigger, which should be around about here somewhere, in the middle of the gap there. Also the spawn area for the pallets, and I'm just trying to see if I can find some. Heck, I know I had some here earlier. Where are they? There we go. So obviously you're gonna have a line just here, it's just in front of the trees, is where your pallets will spawn on this side. Same on the other side. So obviously if you've got a lot of pallets, it'll spawn up along here as well. So you can get quite a few pallets on the actual orchards themselves, as well as obviously the I think it's 12,000 capacity that is built into the actual orchards as well. So where's that one? So that's meant to be plums, so it should be over on this side here. Obviously, I did set it to storage. Obviously, if you do set it to storage, these pallets will start spawning pretty much straight away once you hit that 1,000 litre capacity for the pallet. And yeah, obviously if you have it set to spawn or distribute, obviously they'll just spawn out here or go straight to wherever they are. So that is what I've been doing as well. And thankfully, got no errors on them. One thing I would recommend is if you do have the silo displays, obviously make sure you get the update version. You can just mount the actual display on the fence just here. It's quite nice. Almost looks like it should be there permanently. One thing I do want to look into is actually being able to add these to maybe some factories as well. Because I kinda wouldn't mind having maybe a little display above each of these to show the capacity for the products coming in. So for instance, obviously I've got at least 3,000 litres of bananas there. I think it's bananas, is it? I have no idea. Pears. So obviously I'd have like a little display up here showing how much is there. Obviously. Oh, headset went off for some reason. Yeah, so there'd be a display for each of these showing the capacity that's in storage. So that's kind of like my next course of action, maybe figure out how that is done. But yeah, apart from that, I've been having loads and loads of fun. Right, so I need you. Seeds, yep. But yeah, as I mentioned, we are going to be going over and see what Mr. Dave is up to today on the map. Quite nice. But obviously, anybody got any questions or having any problems, well, let us know. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna have to mention about it anyway. There was a modder out there circulating edited mods from the PV WolfCreek mod pack. Guys, just so you are aware, obviously I've spoken to the YouTuber who was actually showing them off. Where the heck's the tractor? There it is. Spoken to the YouTuber, he's been able to take the videos down, and yeah, he's, from what I understand, no longer dealing with that modder. Actually downloaded one of his mod packs. He's literally gone in, edited several of the factories in the mod packs. Stop there. And actually removed both my name and Dajnet's. Which is not good. So open up. There we go. Right, so put you on helper. You should stop temporarily. Oh yeah. You'll probably disappear anyway. Yeah, so if any of you guys do come across any of that sort of stuff out there on websites or whatever, let one of us know and we'll look into it and get it dealt with, because I wasn't very happy waking up first thing this morning to hear that. But yeah, all sorted out now at least. And how you doing, Hayward Industries, buddy? Yeah, happy Friday, that is for sure. Right, let's get you going again. So I'm just sort of bouncing between these two tractors there, trying to keep them topped up. So this one's going to the cornfield. So I did combine all of these 1, 2, 3, 4 fields together into one big massive one. So that should do pretty well for now. Hey Gamer Paul, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, Friday again, guys. Friday again. There we go. Obviously, I will probably go around the headland once he's done all of the field, or she, whoever it is. So, just trying to get everything up and ready for the end of the year. One thing I am kind of annoyed at myself really is, for some reason I got into my mind that planting like grains, for instance, like your wheat, your barley, stuff like that, was done first thing in the year. I don't know why I got that into my mind, but yeah, I've completely lost all my grains planting for the minute, so obviously I've got to wait till the end of the year, so like November sort of time. Ah, yeah. There's some mods out there from the WolfCreek mod pack that have been edited and released by without authorization, basically, um, on some YouTube channels and links. So yeah. But if you do come across any guys, let us know, either myself or Dave, and we'll look into it. Thankfully, I was able to speak to the YouTuber who was doing the review on the mods. He's actually now removed the videos in question and basically isn't going to be dealing with that modder anymore. Yeah, so obviously my wheat, I've got to wait right till September before I can start planting my wheat and barley again for next year. Bit of a bummer, that is for sure. In game, I have no idea what I was thinking, to be honest. Let's see how you're getting on. Ooh, we have Mr. Dajnet, my AI worker. Cool. Actually, you're going to need touch, so I'll take you on a little bit. And I'll stop you, but yeah, that does not look nice, that's for sure. Very, very orange in this area. I need to really start doing some more work in it. But he is fine for now, anyway. I know I'll get a message at some point saying, I've run out of seed or something. Yeah, so this is one of the factories, actually, the planters that he'd taken. He'd literally taken, yeah, like I said, removed my name and Dave's name from several of the mods and put his there. And so, yeah, that is just not right. If you are going to do an edit, at least leave the original modders' names there. Over the weekend, what I have done actually is obviously this field just here ahead of me had peanuts in it, and obviously there was that texture issue that I've mentioned. I think it was in the last one. I actually went over again with a field create enabled, and it's coming up perfectly fine. So yeah, if you are doing peanuts, just that word of warning that you'll probably still need to keep that enabled. From what we understand from Mr. Shy Wizard, he's actually gone in, and it's just because of that the amount of fruits being added to the map. It's just taking that over maybe one crop, maybe two crops, whatever it is, which is causing that error. Now, one thing I did want to check out while I'm here is, okay, so that's fine. Spent a good hour or so the other day clearing this out. I did put down the old storages up there. Got you filled up, you're fine. That is going down really fast, which is troubling. That is gone down very, very fast. 5,000, that is a lot actually. I think that is going to need to be dropped, because that has gone through a lot of ore, in my opinion. Haven't quite got around to doing this one yet, adding the palette vision. It might maybe be one of the next ones. I'm kind of thinking having them in this area here, having like a couple of stacks of each. I don't know yet. Maybe put some over on that side as well. Obviously, I'm still waiting on obviously the copper and galena, I think it was, needed for this one as well. I've got the bauxite in there, yeah, so the copper and the galena. I just have not got enough money to get to the multi-mine yet to be able to access them. So PVs is full at the minute. I need to go on and get that emptied out at some point as well. Let's see how my sheepies are doing quickly. Yeah, so anyone who actually has sheep and wants like a wool storage, or hey Green Thumb Farmer, how you doing, buddy? Just so you know, obviously the storages that Dave's done, the storage farm, it's called, is the one for you like your wool, your fabric, clothing, stuff like that. Okay, guys. How much have I got in there? 19 out of 5,000. You're fine. That one can definitely be stored away. Let me. Actually, do I have pallet forks over here? Where's my forklift? There. Forklift. I did getting rid of some of my black sheeps off to the butchers the other day, which is giving me some extra space for more sheepies. Get on. There we go. Yeah, so one thing I was thinking is maybe after the school holidays, try and get back into doing more streams throughout the week. Want to try and get back to doing my Monday, Wednesday, Friday streams myself, and then possibly having a weekend stream or two with obviously the daughter doing whatever she wants to stream, really, because she's been really enjoying Ark, that is for sure, at the minute. Let's see if we can get this a bit tricky with this thing, but can get it. Okay, we'll have a look at that in a sec. We'll end up in storage. Over that corner, right. Yeah, we'll jump over there and have a quick look at that, actually. I know I've had any issues myself the other day when I was clearing it out. We'll drop that there a sec, and we'll jump back here. Right, because I've got a fair few. Was there any particular yeah, that makes a lot of crazy man. Yeah, definitely. I think I need to go through, or me or Dave needs to go through and play with it. Off the back, okay. Any particular palettes, or is it almost in general? Because obviously I do have at the minute steel, plate, pipe, and nails, cable, aluminum. Yeah, so I do have some. Actually, what I could do is actually go grab, probably spawn out some nails. Have a look at that. Let's go for maximum. Let's have a little look. Also, make sure that they are fully spawned out before you do that. That's, okay, it's not pretty, but it is not too bad. I might need to drop that down a bit. Obviously, the timing is what it was set to on in the 19th, should say, by day. I've not really twitched it that much. But it's around about the same sort of time going forward as it is back. And yeah, that seems okay there. All of them, is it? Let's have a look. Get some steel pallets out of here. Yeah, they're jumping about a little bit on there. Why that is, may need to just have play around with that trigger. Something's not quite right there. You should be there. I knew this thing would give me issues. Let's turn you on a minute. It may be that the actual, no, because it's quite a high trigger. I'd have to have a closer look at that just to check. Pallet pushers are just a pain in the butt. Yeah. The pusher, to me personally, seems okay. I suppose it could be increased a little bit. Well, obviously, the biggest issue is where they're double stacking on some of these. Obviously, if it had gone far quicker, it may cause even more issues. You're on Uncharted, are you? Okay. I'll have to have a little play around with the spawn triggers on them and see if I can make them a little bit smoother. But yeah, the dudes seem to bounce around a little bit there, actually, don't they? Have I got any lead? No, so the aluminum was the other one, wasn't it? Let's have a look at these ones as well while we're at it, because they're slightly bigger pallets. Yeah, they seem to be, some of them seem to spawn slightly off. Yeah, I'll have a little look and play around with it, see if I can get them to spawn a little bit easier for you guys. Um, whether there'll be an update coming out this side of the map, I don't know. Because obviously Dave does want to concentrate on getting on and working on the new map. But yeah, I think that is definitely using far too much. Start spawning again before pushing. Yeah, as you can see, I haven't had an issue of such. Just make sure that they are pushed all the way to the front and then all the way to the back before starting to spawn more. I knew there was going to be an issue with this blinking thing, to be honest. I originally wanted to just have the spawn area up the front here, but then I thought, well, why not have it like it was in 19, have it coming from the back? But yeah, I'll have a better look at that and see if I can get them spawning a little bit better. Maybe end up adding an individual node for each pallet spawn area. It might work a little bit better actually. But yeah, I will have a look at that over the weekend and see what I can do to make that a little bit neater. Right, you've finished, you've run out of seeds. Surprise, surprise. And I want... So that one? That's the seeds. Nope, that's for... Not the seeds for them. Cool. Alright, thanks for letting me know as well for that. I will definitely have a look at that. Oh, one thing I have been playing around with is the spawn area. Oh, excuse me. For the one of the storages from 19. And obviously what I've had to do is basically add an individual spawn layer, as it were, I suppose the best way, for each of the individual pallets to spawn nice and neatly. So I may have to go through the steel factory and do the exact same thing with that. There we go. Ooh, too far. Back up, back up, back up. That or I bigger. Yeah, Dave didn't want. I don't think Dave wanted them to be a drive-through, as it were, or drive-in type factory. So I'm just kind of leaving them as they are. But yeah, definitely have a little look at it. See if I can make that a little bit smoother for you guys. Anyway. So there's that. How are you doing? I might actually take one of these guys over in a minute. We'll take this one off as it should be top up more. One thing I have been working on, kind of as a side project as well, is a vineyard storage, and it's going to basically be a base game shed. So one of these little sheds, basically, and inside it's going to have some pallet visuals for basically pallets of grapes. Obviously be unloading on the front. Obviously this is not the particular one because I haven't got it loaded in my mod folder at the minute. But there'd be like an unload trigger at the front, pallet visuals, so as you put it in, will be in the shed itself. Capacity wise I haven't quite figured that out yet, depending on how many pallets I can get in there. But probably around about 100,000, obviously you guys can edit it if need be. Then what I'm planning, or do have actually, is an output pipe on the side, so you can actually pull it under with a trailer. That is something I am currently working on. I've got one or two areas to clear out, but apart from that, it's not doing too bad. And I'm not sure if any of you guys have been on the in-game mod hub today yet, but I jumped on there just before coming on, and I can now remember which one it is. Is that one? There. They finally released, and I don't know if you'd even be interested actually, is the Grimmy Potato Technology Pack on the in-game mod hub. And obviously that will give you some cultivators there, up to about 6 meters. You do have like a small planter. What's that? 1.5 meters. So that's like a single rower. You got like a double row. Obviously it goes up to 1.5. Obviously I'll probably use like the in-game one, but you do have a lot of equipment, some trailers there as well, just for obviously transporting your potatoes. I am definitely going to be checking them out at some point. Obviously you do get a conveyor belt, loader, and obviously you can actually fill up pallets with potatoes. I'm kind of wondering if I can edit one of them to do carrots as well. I have got a huge pile of carrots. Obviously you do get a nice little placeable machine there where you do your palletizing and stuff. I believe that's full. Yeah, definitely if you're doing your potatoes, check that out. Obviously they are small working widths, but definitely nice on those smaller maps to use. Whether I'll be using it, I don't know. Do want to use some of the equipment, that is definite out there. Especially those trailers. I like the trailers, they look quite nice. Right, I'm going to take you over because you're starting to miss quite a few spots there. So, ooh, my daughter driving. Oops. Oh well. Spin around. Yeah, doing a headwind on here should have been the first thing I did, but I just wanted to try and get it started at least. Still a little bit left on the field here. I have any curiosity for any of you guys out there, do you actually have the Dell and Copper by Design down yet on your maps? So that's something I am kind of trying to work on next, really. Kind of think of making like an industrialist, kind of an industrial estate, I suppose is the best way to put it, where obviously the steel factory is, so you can actually just transport the goods straight into the factories where they are. So there's very, very little transport. So the nice thing is everything can now be just set to sell or transported to sell on most of these higher tier factories. Another one I do want to get down really is obviously Campbell's factory, which obviously had another update just the other day, guys. Just tweaking some of those storage levels. Actually, that's one thing I don't think I've actually updated yet myself. It's terrible. I've just been so busy in real life this week. It's terrible. Obviously the trees up the top here do prevent getting right up to the edge. May end up taking these out actually, think about it. Just a sec. I was quite surprised actually that Dave's actually got the Free Life factory down now as well. Really happy for him. He's starting to get into those higher tier factories finally. I cleared out area T4 factories. All right, yeah. Yeah. Obviously, money is one of the big things with some of these higher tier factories. They do cost a friggin' fortune. That is for sure. I was quite lucky actually. I saved up a lot of clothing pallets, or clothes pallets, I should say, from the previous year, and obviously I had a really high price for selling them. I was able to get about 3-4 million back from that, so it was kind of nice. So I was able to pay for a few things. What's that? I think the rest of that should be okay, is it? Yeah, that should be fine. There's a little bit down the bottom there I can grab on the way back, so I'll just turn off that. Hey, Mr. T. Miller, how are you getting on? Mr. Alfred Prom, welcome, buddy. Have you seen the new display on Mod Hub? Is that the in-game Mod Hub? No, slowly figuring it out. Okay. If that's on the in-game Mod Hub, no, I didn't know there was another one released. Let me have a little look quickly, actually. Giants mods. You got the animal dealer moved, have you? Okay, cool. Oh, I do know. It was the other day they had one. What was it? It's like real time in game. The hub site. So if that's is it the big display? Is that the one you're on about? Because that was actually originally released on Forbidden Mods by Akimobile, whatever you pronounce his name. And I know Mr. T. Miller showed it off actually. Obviously it'll be in your placeable stuff under tools, and you actually get 4 displays. You get a nice little one there. You can't really see it very well. Obviously good for a single liner there. You have the link on this one. Yeah. Obviously you get one that you can get about 3 or 4 lines in. It's quite nice there. Obviously it's slightly bigger there. Obviously that's the one I've currently got on my orchards. And then obviously the factory, if you've got a lot of products in your factories, definitely use that one. But yeah. But yeah, this is something I want to look into, see if I can actually. I want to see something a minute. While I'm here. See now that's got displays on it. I wonder if they work or not. Because that might be the answer to what I'm after. Hey Pompies, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, they posted it without permission. It seems to be something that is really rife at the minute. Releasing mods without the modder's permission. So it's somewhere up around here. Yep, there is actually a T. Miller. If you want to drop it in chat, you're more than welcome to. There you go, thanks. Yeah, thank you very, very much. Grab the link that T. Miller just posted in chat. That is for the update to obviously the displays there. So you will have the 4 different sizes you can actually use now. I know the guys at Hirschfield, Hirschfield in it, Hot, who did the bale storages that we've been all using, or have been working on cotton storage as well to match in with it. Currently waiting to see whether they actually release it or not. But I know Hirschfield was streaming the other day. I actually caught a little bit of it. I couldn't understand a single thing they were saying. but they've been able to actually, they got something in testing at the moment. Right, so I need to get this set up. But yeah, you can mount them on your factories if you wanted to. Actually, I don't think did I do that? Obviously, I did it with the orchards. I don't know if I've actually done it with everybody else yet. That is a friggin' good question. Exotic oils, that's got one big one. I think you've got a big one as well. I think most of the ones I've used have been the big ones, but yeah, you can put one to the buildings if you want to. Oh yeah, carpentry. Oh, hello. Um, so I've put a display just above the door here. It's slightly off, but yeah, it's not too bad actually. Kind of like it. So where the actually this has been placed down the building, it is slightly off as well. So trying to line it up is kind of tricky and get it in there and stuff. But yeah, you can put them on the buildings if you want to. They will work on obviously all the factories. Freaking headset. Yeah, so the factories, silos, storages, you name it, they will work with them. For some weird reason, my headset keeps turning itself off. I have no idea. It just seems to be one thing after another at the minute. It's really starting to annoy me. Right, did I get that set up? Planter, I want planter. Oh, I see you there. I'm going to go there. Right. Centralize YouTube right about there, it's not too bad. Obviously, actually, while I think about it, shout out team there 63. Make sure to go over check Mr. T Miller out. Obviously, he's planning on doing an ATS stream tomorrow, so definitely go over check him out, see what he's doing, and who knows, you might be able to even join him as well. Yeah, exactly. Where was it? Oh, fudge. Which factory was it? I put one down the other day by a factory and it had like 2 or 3 different screens. Dang it. It wasn't you. It's not you because you haven't filled up for yet. It's not you. It won't be you. Candles. I can't remember which blinking factory it was now. Might have been. Was it free to play? No. I haven't put one down there yet. But yeah. Yeah, just obviously think about what's going to be in, if say for instance all the lines are running, how much product is going to be in them, and then yeah, go from there. The nice thing is as well, like someone does say, is your output products and input products are a slightly different colour. Actually, I'll show you on here because it does show you. So as if you can, let me go up a little bit. So as you can see with the display, so you got the, see where it says furniture and your shelving, toys, wood chip, where it's that slightly more green colour. So that is going to be your output jump, yeah. That's your output product, okay. So obviously what they've done is they've made them slightly different on the colourings. You can actually change these if you, from what I understand, I know Mr. Reaper did it the other day, he changes the colours of these. I'm not sure how, but I would tread lightly if you are going to edit them to do a different colour, because it may throw a lot of errors and not work and stuff. But yeah, obviously you've got the slightly lighter green, which is your input products, and obviously your darker greens here, which are your output, along with obviously the overall capacity. need to get some of these shelving and toys out of here at some point. I'm trying to think what factory it was now. I cannot remember. It's going to do my head in at some point. I swear it will. I'll probably jump off stream and then suddenly think, Eureka, that was that one. But yeah, it will work on your factory productions, your storages, obviously your silos as well. You name it, it will work on everything from what I can see. So yeah, definitely a great mod. But still waiting on that. Wow, definitely got to have that mod. That is definitely top of the list for sure for what's come out next. FS22 so far. You'll be doing a convoy. Ah, cool. That has slightly gone off. Typical. I have to go down there. Just grab that bit and then circle back up. Yeah, hopefully you guys, you're all having a great day so far. That is for sure. Obviously it is Friday, almost at the end of the day. It's weekend and stuff for you guys who've been working. Another week from my daughter, like I said, before she goes back to school. She's got all her uniform and everything ready, so it's great. Kind of strange that, kind of ahead of the curve there. It was the FS19. Ah, okay. No worries, buddy, no worries. But yeah, for anybody who didn't grab it, obviously the 22 version is now out. Mr. T Miller did post the link just shortly. Grab it while you can. Get most of that then. See it now. Just a bit, so that's fine. It's kind of weird, my wheels now kind of almost sorted itself out through gameplay, but it's still a little bit jittery, so if at any point I go a little bit all over the places, I'll blame it on the wheel. And oops, I didn't mean to hit all those S's in chat, so let's get rid of that. I don't know. Fun and games, guys, fun and games. I do have my Smirnoff down for anyone who didn't see it. How can you not see it, I suppose? I think one thing when I update some of these factories, I might drop down the clip distance on them. Why am I hearing that? Oh yeah, it's the critters mod, isn't it? Possibly. Also, we do have the pumps and hoses coming out next month, guys, for any of you guys who are interested in that sort of thing. One thing I am kind of interested in, actually, watching the videos, it looks like they have storage, like liquid storage silos that can raise up as they're being filled up, kind of like the same as a fill plane in one of the factories or something. Kind of interested how they've done that. So we do have Gamecom on at the minute, I think it is. Gamecom on that. The Giants are there. I haven't seen a lot actually posted about it. I haven't seen the odd picture on Facebook put up, but very, very little stream wise or video wise done. So hoping obviously once it is done they maybe showing a few things off. Also we do have the Platinum DLC video out now. I'm still pretty sure that first part is on Elm Creek, where it then phases over to the new Silver Run map. It's kind of interesting to see how that duck's going. And actually, I just thought of something I haven't told Dave yet. Please don't tell him this, but Oxygen David is bringing goats into FS22. He has working goats coming out on his new map. I'm kind of curious. Well, they do work. Interesting. Now, how come nobody's spotted that before, hey? Is there a way of accessing that? Because obviously, if that's got pressure numbers, I need to bring a tractor over here now and have a look at that. Or even my car will do. It's close by. If that works, they've had display since day one in game. Ugh. Let's have a quick look. Because obviously, I don't know if I really go to the VGA guide, by the way. Very, very rarely. Especially to the waiting station. We've just seen it there a minute ago. Because if this works, it does. Dang you old heck. I wonder if they can be separated from the building. That is exactly what I want, is those little displays on the orchards. So as the products filling in, it shows on there. So if they did something similar to the bale storages. I'm gonna have to have a look at that. And people said they didn't have displays on any of the buildings and stuff. My gosh. That's the next thing I want to try and figure out, how to add that onto a factory and actually have them record the capacities as it fills up. Let's drop this off down here. You're now finished, that's fine. So I've just got this last little bit of this field to go. Yeah, I kind of wanted to do these two big fields here with like a grain, but yeah, like I mentioned, totally forgot when they were meant to be done. Obviously, I think that's what it is, 19 you could plant early on in the year. See, now you're sort of starting off in August, September time for your grains. It's frustrated. And at some point I do want to bring Stream Raiders back as well for you guys. Obviously over the summer holidays it's been pretty quiet. So I'm kind of hoping once, obviously, kids go back to school and stuff, be able to get that, the numbers back up in, hopefully. Slow down. Obviously, start getting that up and running again. Stream Pirates is coming soon, is it? Oh, okay, interesting. Very, very interesting, that is for sure. At some point I might even get a new chair. As you can tell, it's very squeaky. I haven't had it, I think it's about a year. For some reason the screws keep coming loose and stuff, and I think it's even got a, I think what it is where it connects to the bottom of the chair. One of the holes where the screws go through, or the bolts go through, is actually snapped slightly. not sure. Yeah, it's one of the back ones, so could be that. Hey, Mr. MacGyver, how are you doing? And thank you very much for your message earlier. Obviously, I have warned that person about their messaging. And obviously, if they do message anybody else, they will be kicked off that website straight away. Really? Wow. They've got a huge, one of the biggest IKEAs in the world in Manila, huh? Ugh. Yeah, unfortunately, unless they post something in chat, I can't seem to, or actually on the website, I can't actually do anything. Obviously, I can warn them and stuff, but yeah, can't see where to ban them unless it's something that Mr. Dave can do. It's about a year old now, I guess. Oh, okay. Yeah, obviously we got one here, an IKEA. It's a fair size, and we like making a lot of jokes that obviously you get lost in the place very easily. You have to send out a search party just to get back out. It's kind of funny. This one's 4 stories. 4 stories, holy cripes. Yeah, I think the one that's here, you got 2 floors of the actual products. About 1.5, I suppose, is to do with where you collect all the different pieces and stuff, like your storages and stuff. And then, obviously, the last half is like car park. Oops, let me pull it up so quick. It's like your car park and collection bay type thing where you pay and stuff. Wow, I'm really butchering that. But yeah. I will say one thing, they do make pretty good furniture, that is for sure. That is definitely for sure. Let's line back up. There we go. Yeah, what was I putting in that other field? So, lavender, wasn't it? Yep. And I think it was rye. Is that rye? Yeah. So obviously that's not bad. That's grass just there. Do want to kind of maybe do something over this way. Maybe a new sawmill, because obviously we do have that big, huge area just there. Hey, Aussie Kanga, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, I think another sawmill over here would be quite nice, rather than having to truck it all the way across to this end. Obviously, I am clearing this area over here at the minute. For obviously the sawmill just there. But there is... I kind of want the 19 sawmill back. I have been kind of working on it a little bit here and there. I might have to add it into this one instead. Oh, good. Good. Glad to hear it, buddy. Actually, I'm kind of surprised you're still up. I would have thought it'd be quite late. It's either quite late or quite early for you over there. But yeah. Anyway, welcome in, buddy. Right. There we go. And bit. There we go. A little bit. There we go. Cruise control is great fun. I really do love cruise control. It is great. 1:49. Yep. There you go. Thought it was almost 4 a.m. Blimey, that is early for you. One's really late, one's really early. Wow. I've got the animal sales area moved, so working on the other. Oh, nice one, Mr. T. Miller. Nice one. Out of curiosity, have you actually added another building in to replace that area? The vehicle shop. Because what you could technically do is set it up so it spawns in. Oops, turned that off, didn't I? Maybe beggar. Have it so it's maybe spawns in, kind of like the other ones, as you load into the map, sort of thing. So, like, say for instance, on like here, factories and some of the houses aren't actually in the map. They have a node that allows it to spawn. Obviously, all you have to do is sort of set up the position. You could give that a try as well. No. Obviously, you mentioned about having a is it a John Deere dealership, vehicle dealership? Have you actually added that in, or are you going to just keep that as a placeable? Because you could actually build it into the map if you wanted to get a little bit more creative, shall we say? Yeah, I'm trying to position them. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Not to worry. Obviously, what you could technically just do then is import the actual i3D for the building into the map itself and do it that way. It's all fun and experience. I don't think I need anything else at the minute. So you're done. Right, so I've got corn in, cranberries are in. I do want to maybe start at some point buying these plots down here where the main starter farm was. Oh, wrong one. I want that. Obviously, I'm kind of bummed at these. Could do that. Sunflowers. Do I need more sunflower? Sunflower, probably, to be honest. Good for oil. Good for oil on the soybean. Definitely don't need any more potatoes, sugar beet, or sugar cane at the minute. Cotton, I've got a fair few bales left over from last year. Could plant some sorghum, I suppose. And then we've got rice. To be honest, I haven't really used much rice flour at the minute. Carrots, I've still got a huge load of that. I do need hemp. That was the other one I needed. I need a big field of hemp. I'm sure it should be in here somewhere. Yep, right there. So we'll go top this up. Hey, Silas Major, how are you doing, buddy? Welcome in. And how is Mr. KW doing as well? I just didn't see you sneaking in there. Yeah, just the i3D should be fine. Then you can actually place the building straight on into the map where you want it to be. But if you need any help with that, let me know. Sir Billy Alpaca, I really like you. Right, where did I put that other bleaking trailer? I had it a minute ago. Yeah, so we'll go get some. Yeah, actually, what I could do is with that big field of hemp. That is definitely going to work. Obviously, hemp can be used in the Sam Adams brewery. Right, get that pipe out. Oh. This is something I wish they would sort out, is when you've got a flight mode enabled, it will allow you to jump into a vehicle. There we go. Ambush Mum, how are you doing? welcome in. Definitely welcome in. How are you doing this fine day? Come on. Give me trigger. Where are you? Where the heck is it? Where are you? Come on. Come on. There it is. Oh. There we go. I wish it would keep your settings. Yep. Funny games France. There's that. Let's turn you off for now. Right, we're now going to move on down the map to near the starter farm. Obviously, for any of you guys who are just joining and haven't seen this yet, this is obviously PV WolfCreek by Mr. Dajnet. And it's a 4x map. Obviously, do have Elm Creek still in the middle. Obviously, he is now currently working on a new map, which is kind of cool. I'm riding my horses for the day. Ah, cool. Nice. Yeah, I had horses in game. Ended up getting rid of them because they're just a waste of time, to be honest, in 22. Yeah, so like I was saying, obviously we do have a mining area all set up on here. Obviously we've got coal, we've got ore, copper, sand, gravel, stone, the whole shebang in this mine, along with a lot of new collectibles, obviously bottles, you've got gold actually buried in amongst lots of these products. Obviously around the outside is like a no man's land where you can actually go wild with your imagination. Obviously I've got a few new fields added. I do still waiting on this field to become ready. As a field of poplar, just waiting on to get ready so I can actually start getting that into the biomass place. Obviously down in this area I've got my vineyard products, so my grapes, my olives, blueberries, and coffee plants. Yep, I've got a JCB in here. I've tried to keep away from John Deere and Case and stuff like that. Go for those vehicles that you don't really see that often. Obviously, I do have a nice couple of big fields here actually, and get these planted. Obviously, I did start in the middle. Obviously, this is where you'd be starting normally, down in this bottom if you go for new farmer. Obviously, you will have fields 61 through 67. So these small fields there, these two, and these two at the back to start off with obviously the main farm. Obviously, I wanted to go elsewhere, so I went to the original Elm Creek area starter farm and just carried on from my Elm Creek map save from there. So doing pretty well actually, that's for sure. But yeah, 4x size map for any of you guys nuts who have not seen this map. So it is multi-fruit. So yeah, great fun. And I do not know where the heck that voice came from. It just scared the heck out of me. But yeah, I've got JCB tractors on this one. I've got Dutzvar. So there is a class on here. Actually, I've got two classes actually. One I use for my cow shed area, and I've also got the Case Zerion 5000, I think it is, off the in-game mod hub. Nice tractor actually. That is for definite. I do need to do a quick headland on one end here. I can actually show you guys what vehicles I do currently have. I have been using the man truck quite a bit, but one of the big issues I'm finding with it is it tips over really easily when you are fully loaded with pallets, and it's really becoming annoying. I think there's a lot of things at the minute it's just really bugging me. Obviously that is one of them with the game. Right, so let's get that going. first. I'll do this headwind first, and then what I'll do is I'll start bouncing around, showing off the different equipment that I do have. Currently in game. Obviously, in this, that's basically the starter farm just over there for any new players just coming into the game. Obviously, it would normally be there. So obviously, you do have the 7 different fields there to expand from. Obviously, I just had to go elsewhere. Ah, right, yeah. I know up where my dad lives, they have which is in the Midlands of the UK. They have a lot of John Deeres around there. There's a couple of class tractors I've seen up there as well, but not many other tractors, to be honest, around that area. And obviously he's right in the middle of nowhere, surrounded with lots of farms actually. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 cased IH tractors that I may have seen, but apart from that it is, yeah, not a lot. I think the headset went off again. Yeah, there's very little other tractors around where he is. I think there's a few Kubotas actually, to be honest. Right, so H. So let me jump out of here a sec. Get out away from. Oh, Mr. Dajnet driving. Cool. So the view. Obviously, I do have a JCB wheel loader there, and my big pile of carrots that I'm slowly munching away through. Also, I've got a man truck there, which I've used a lot, to be honest, on this save game. I have actually started adding a new truck that I'm currently using. It seems a lot more stabler, but we'll get to that in a minute. So I do have my main car for driving around. Got a few forklifts here, there, and everywhere. Got some wheel loaders. Obviously, this one is the Lizard off the in-game mod hub. There is a tipper truck that goes with this. Really nice. Go really well together. So I could do have a Dukes file there. The 8280, which is part of the 7 series, I believe. Or 8, no, it's supposed to be 8, isn't it? As this is the 8. Obviously, there's the one to go with the other wheel loader there. Obviously, I do have the Volvo loading wagons there. So, obviously, I do have a couple of class, like I said. There's one of them, which is in my cow area. So, I do have the Kuhn TMR mixer machine there. All around by my cow area. I do still want to go through and redo these actually. Kind of want to set up one pen for each of the different types of cows, so as they become full I can actually take out the older cows for obviously the butchers. But yeah, at some point I'll get around to doing that on the show then. As I got up to here, obviously that was going to be the next one. Obviously I've got a New Holland T7. Obviously it's something I haven't seen many people using, but I thought why not. One thing I do like is the steering wheel on the inside. I don't know why, I just think it looks really kind of cool. Obviously you've got that display right in the middle. Obviously a Scorpion, some more forklifts. Obviously got the good old Fendt Vario 1050, big boy. Obviously got the JCB there, more forklifts. Obviously I've got the old little Kubota M8 down this end, which I tend to actually use for the vineyards and stuff like that. So vineyards, maybe root crops are one or two anyway. Also there's the Xerion 5000 by class, really nice one. This is obviously the special edition one that was off the in-game mod hub, which is a really nice tractor. So got a couple of these cases actually. Kind of wanted a self-propelled sprayer. Obviously the other ones that aren't really is a John Deere, and then obviously case, and I just wanted to go for the case. I do not want John Deere personally. So got a class combine there. That's a quite nice little truck for any of you guys who like Mack trucks. So on the in-game mod hub has loads of different configurations. Obviously, I did up the capacity on it. Yeah. Your farm in-game runs on Massey's and one Kubota. Oh, nice. Obviously, I do have my little Kubota wheel front loader there. We'll get back doing those sheeps in just a sec. Also, we do have obviously um, Jack, the Jackto coffee harvester, and obviously the olive harvester by New Holland. Just there. And obviously, I did end up downloading the Volvo L35. Not 35. What am I doing? The L350H wheel loader. Obviously, yeah, a lot of people are using it, so yeah, no surprise there, guys. One thing I did do is just increase the capacity on that bucket. Obviously, I do have like a few of them now. Obviously, that's the one I'm using for my vineyards. The M6 by Kubota. Fits perfectly down the rows, I found. And one thing I do need to actually do at some point is get a small grape trailer and edit it to work with the coffee, because it works great. Where do you get it? Now you're asking. I just googled it actually. The Volvo wheel loaders, and it's definitely one of the ones by FS Miner. They might have been off of Farming Simulator 22.mods, whatever it is, website. But if you want, I can send it over to you. That's not a problem. Yeah, so obviously this is my new toy, Mack truck. This is basically the in-game one. It's nothing special, but it is very, very sturdy for going around corners. I think I've tipped over maybe once in the whole time, and that was pushing it full speed around the corner just to see how far it would go. I've had this trailer loaded right up with pallets from the orchards. Obviously, for any of you guys who've loaded up pallets, you know they get a heck of a lot on one of these little trailers. Yeah, and it pretty much stayed upright the whole time. You found it? Great, cool. More forklifts. Well, yeah, so that is pretty much my fleet at the minute. Obviously, they are scattered throughout the map. Certain ones do have specific purposes, like obviously that Kubota at the end there for the grapes, so it only gets used a couple of times a year, this guy. So obviously, hour-wise, it's only 0.6 hours. But yeah, it's not going to break the bank, to be honest with that. Whereas something that I've had for quite a while, obviously, my man truck that's got like 58 hours on there already. That's probably the most, to be honest. I don't know. Dutesval, that's another one that I've had a long time. 58.1 hour. Oh, excuse me, one hour. So yeah. It's on the steel one, is it? That's interesting because I do have the steel down, but let's have a look quickly. Let me bring up the log. PV storage. I take it, is it this one here, or is it the other storage? Because there's two. There's one where the original one that Dave did. This one here, and that is definitely not thrown off anything on there. Obviously, these all run off the same i3D, so that's not going to be that one. PV. Oh, fiddlesticks. I didn't mean to hit that. I'm going to have to do all that again. Storage. There's nothing on there, and there's definitely nothing on them. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly what that error is coming off. Shader warnings errors coming off of. I've just lost it about an hour's worth. I don't know. Gonna have to restart. One sec, guys. Hopefully I didn't lose too much there. Darn it. as you see, I'm not getting nothing. But let me just load this back up quickly. That is really frustrating. Oh, oh well. Not to worry. I can just leave it running after the stream and catch up. Well, it's not a problem. But one thing I am kind of surprised is I haven't seen Dave in Discord yet. I hope he hasn't fallen back to sleep, that is for sure. Because obviously he does it like 25 minutes before he goes live. Hopefully he's just busy. Yeah. Oh, man. But yeah, any guys got any plans for the weekend? Oh, I know Mr. Miller is going to be streaming tomorrow, doing a bit of ATS. Make sure to check him out, guys. I know most of you are following him anyway, so yep. Obviously he's going to be doing a convoy. Not sure where to and where from. Obviously it's going to be quite a long stream there. Like I said, kind of planning on maybe doing a stream tomorrow. With obviously my daughter. Sorry, I was just reading that comment. Yep. You're going to be playing Satisfactory. Yep. I might actually jump back onto Satisfactory for a little while. Done a lot of farming recently. Kind of need a break. Doing a lot, mainly modern actually, to be honest. But yeah, what's kind of weird is those storages don't have shaders on them, OPs. So not even sure why you're getting anything off that. But yeah, I'll have a look at your log file for that on the website once I jump off. It's definitely a strange one, that's for sure. Right, and one thing as well, I don't know if you guys have actually used it yet, the weather station is freaking noisy. I don't know if it comes through on the stream. You got that noise going on just in the background, and hopefully it's coming through to you guys. That's actually the weather station on top of the roof. It is freaking loud, that is for sure. Right, so where did we get to? So, well, didn't lose too much actually, just a little bit of this field. And getting started on there. Okay, that's not too bad. I can cope with that, I think. So we'll get you going again. What I'll do is I'll leave that on hired helper for now. He can finish off that field. Actually, I do want this one here. Obviously, you guys have now seen my entire array of vehicles, so that's kind of cool. Obviously, I do have. Oh, that's a good question. I just suddenly thought, how many hours have I actually got in the game now? I'm sure this is wrong. I am sure this keeps going down rather than up. That is very strange. But anyway, according to this, I have 739 hours played in this on this map. I have no idea. I'm sure the other freaking day that said 900 odd. I give up with it. I really do. Front. Closed up for now. I'm going to pop this guy away now. And I will. Oh. Yes, I know. I don't know what that platform is. Thank you very much. I'll come back to that later. Right, so. But it'd be nice if I could actually get some of these orange fields up a bit in their colorations for the fertilizer and stuff. I have no idea what in the heck. But one nice thing is I've still got a decent overall score, so still getting the bonuses. I restarted too much. Possibly. Obviously, I know when testing, I think I must have restarted 3 or 4 times. But since overall release, I haven't restarted at all. But I'm sure the other, it was either the other day or the other week. I'm sure it said that over 900 hours on here, closing on like 1,000. Now it's dropped right down. I swear, it must be Steam. I'm blaming it on Steam because I updated my Steam version and it just seems to be since then. But that is really peeing me off. But at least I'm on still got the year 11, which is what it should be. It just seems to be these playing at the total played hours. Okay, But yeah, definitely something going on with that. Oh well, I'm not too bothered to be honest. One thing I do want to keep an eye on is that field there, because I do know that it's almost there. Come on. Oh, it won't show because poplar's usually deactivated. I want to keep grass on. Poplar, 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 where are you? Poplar. Oh, it is active. Is it? There we go, yeah. Come on, show me it. See, it's on its last growth state already. It's funny, I only just cut that the other day and it's already almost ready. Wow. What I might actually end up doing is grabbing some of these fields, which are grains, and harvesting them. One thing I do want to have a look at is my bales that I was doing the other week. To be honest, it is true, Team Mother. It is true. Obviously, during testing, I did restart like 2 or 3 times, if not more. Okay, so they are salvaged, so they can now be picked up, so that's kind of cool. I can get on and do that. I'm going to just cheat and use the truck and trailer, I think, with that. So for any of you guys who haven't used Surfing Cowboys trailers, this is this one. It is the Dajnet mods one. And what you will need to do is reconfigure it from flatbed, which is for doing your pallet loading, to the bales, which I will show you right now. So if we go into here, I'm going to just repair that while I'm at it, the truck. And I'm going to, oh, wrong one. Trailer, customize. So obviously here's flatbed, that is going to be doing your pallets for loading. Obviously it does have bales auto load, and that's going to allow you to do all your bales and stuff. But obviously you do need to reconfigure it in the shop for it to work. There's that. Squeeze through, got a fat butt. There we go. So I know Mr. NBC was kind of trying to figure it out the other day, and well, obviously he did get there eventually. Alright then, let's use this. Pick up quite a few actually with this one. It's been a while since I've used this with the bales. Maybe Sam Adams, I can't remember now, think about it. One of them has a lot of field types in it. So I was just thinking about those silo displays. Definitely know that was one of the ones I've got placed down that it cycles through at least 2 screens. That's a nice thing as well. I've noticed you don't need to have multiple ones down. You put one down and it'll actually just cycle through all of the products. So if there's a lot of products in there, it'll just cycle through and show you how much is in there, those displays. Right then, so here we go. What I'll do is probably the first load is or first couple of loads I'll fill up the obviously cow pens first of all, and then go from there. Right, so position B. Nice thing is you can leave this turned on as well as you're driving. I'm not hitting anything here because it do automatically staying on. It'd be quite nice if they could do it with the pallets at some point, because it does have quite a large pickup area. Definitely well worth grabbing it off the SGA website, and obviously saying a big thank you to Surfing Cowboy Gaming out there who did convert it from 19 and actually get the auto-loading working on the trailer. It also does have a wide version of it, kind of like what Mr. Dajnet is using in the pack. if you like the slightly bigger, chunkier trailers. There we go. Now I'm not too worried about any fancy bale wraps or anything. Just kept them white. They will be going into storage and coming probably back out as white ones. Remember rightly, or blue. I don't know what we were now. But yeah, like I mentioned, the bale storages by the hot team or horse fuel, whatever it is. I know them as hot because that's where I got it off, as the hot website. So they're working on a cotton storage as well. There we go. 48 round standard size bales. That's not too bad. Obviously, use the old mouse, hold down your left button, and move them across, up and down. So you need to hit the Y when you're ready to unload. But yes, these silo displays I really like. See, they've got the displays on there as well, but they've got a different colour to them. And that's what's kind of making me a lot more curious lately since doing those orchards. Yeah, on the SGA website, obviously, Surfing Cowboy has done a couple of updates to it. So go over there and grab it. Why? There we go. And actually, I'll bring it up in here, and what it'll show is under the PV mods. Obviously, you will have the standard size version, along with obviously the wide version. Obviously, for anyone, it is almost like twice as wide as the normal one, but has all the same options. But yeah, that is a really like it. And also you can, if you wanted to, hook up a couple under attachers here. You can add obviously an additional trailer hook or dolly hook, what you want to call it, onto the back, and you can actually hook up 2, 3, 4, 5 if you wanted to. But yeah, if you go under the Billy Alpaca mods, it should be there. There we go. Just unload that there. Yes, these little displays. See, they've got theirs all black. Yeah, this is some. We haven't even got a collision on them. This is something I want to get into next, understanding how they do that. Obviously, doing the palette visuals or the bale physics and stuff is easy, to be honest. Now, I've added so many to factories, and let me just check a message quickly. Okay. Alright, boss. So I've got a little message from Mr. Dajnet. He's not feeling very well and won't be streaming today. So in 10 minutes, obviously, I'll be looking for somebody else to stream. Maybe it's too much cheesecake from his birthday. Bit of a shame, but ah well. Hopefully, guys, he will be back tomorrow. He is feeling better. There we go. So yeah, 10 more minutes then, and I'll look to see who's out there. Actually, big, huge thank you to all you guys for coming out today. So make sure to check out Mr. T Miller tomorrow when he streams, or later today, wherever, depending where you are in the world. It could be later today or even tomorrow. Just put that around. At some point, I do want to get some more input palette visuals added to obviously the vodka factory there, before I really try and get into doing many more of the factories. Obviously, products like say from greenhouses and the orchards are the main ones. I want to get into that now, and then that'll pretty much wrap them up, and I can focus on some of these other factories and get the palette visuals added to sites. Well, obviously Sam Adams is done already. Pepsi's done. obviously you're going to get an update to that at some point. Hopefully tomorrow if Dave's streaming. Two more, no, got full. There we go. Yes, obviously that is using the bail autoload script rather than like anything else. And we kind of go wee. Hopefully there's no collision on them, because that would be a pain. Actually, I was going to fill these up, but I'll do it some other time. Not to worry. Go. Drop that from there. Y to reset. B. Yeah. Wonder how many actual big pens I can fit in here, or am I going to need to drop it down? Might have to modify some of these just so they're the same size. Oh, there was something else as well, guys. I don't know if any of you've actually realised it. Take care, Billy, and everyone in chat. Alright, Team Miller, catch you later, buddy, in your stream, hopefully. Obviously, I know a lot of you guys have mentioned about adding water to pens. And obviously, for the most part, no, you do not need to do this anymore with 22. However, saying that, if you're actually looking on the base game stuff, obviously these ones here, the ones with the sheds, don't need water. However, these open pastures do need water. So if you really want to add water to a animal pen, go for one of these open ones, the open pastures without the sheds. They are really kind of cool. Actually, that'd be maybe quite nice for some, I don't know, like your beef cattle, for example, to go in them. Also, you do have your trigger on the right, going from the right hand side, which is your animal trigger where you drop off. Just try to see. So obviously the next one from that is your water, then obviously your feed, and then on the end, I would imagine. Actually, I'm not even sure what that'd be. Oh, maybe straw or something to go on that one. But yeah, I'm kind of actually thinking of maybe making a pack out of these. Actually, thinking about it, but increasing the capacity. Don't know if I'd be able to actually go through it and actually make them bigger in general. That might be quite nice. Yeah, that little birdie right there. Hello, birdies. But yeah, each of these all have a water trough on the lowest one. I suppose it's the smallest pen. So you got your pig one there, your sheep one, which has got obviously the brown fence there. So yeah, I might be having to play around with them. Even I don't think the obviously the chickens don't need water. I don't think they've really ever taken water, but yeah, obviously they do have the open pen there as well. But yeah. So there is pens out there, base game, that take water. So I might even, yeah, I think that's probably what I'm going to be doing over the weekend. Maybe having a look, make a few modifications, so we should say. Try and see if I can figure out the animal, whatever you call it, mesh area, to make the pen a slightly bigger. But yeah, guys, make sure to go over, check Team Miller out when he next streams. Obviously, he is going to be doing, like I mentioned earlier, and he mentioned, is a convoy on ATS. And let's give him a shout out. I know he's probably not there anymore, but definitely check him out tomorrow. And who knows, you might even be able to join in with him. So I'll get a few more of these bales picked up. Hopefully be able to get all these done today now. Then I can get the field fertilised. One thing I want to try and do is maybe use slurry this time for the fields and manure. At some point I do want to get through and try and do some digestate as well. And how are you doing, Mr. Darius Frost? Make sure you go over check out Mr. Darius when he's next streaming. He's been doing a lot of Ark recently, which is kind of the reason my daughter's decided to actually play it properly. And Mr. Bodine, how you doing? So yeah, just in case if you weren't aware, Mr. Dave is not going to be streaming today. He's not feeling very well. So in about 4 minutes time I'll be looking to find someone else to raid over to, unfortunately. Hopefully there's an SGA member out there streaming I can go. I'm doing stayed up too late, just woke up from a nap. Ah, okay. Yeah, good time, buddy. Good timing. There we go. Let's bring that round. Oh, nice. Position. Unload. Reset. Back up. It's kind of nice like that. Depending on whether you should go back to sleep. Yeah. Actually, to be honest, I know I'm going to sound like a grumpy old bugger, but I have actually started having about half an hour to an hour lie down in the afternoons. I tend to stick a stream on, and maybe it's boom hours or something, and that just sends me right off for a good hour. Whoops. Helps have it turned on. Yeah. Definitely started to feel a lot more tired recently, not sure why. Possibly just with the summer heat. See what it's like when it starts cooling down a bit more. Say hi. Ah, bless you, cotton socks. You slept for about 3 hours. Yeah. Obviously, my wife does have a lot lie down in the afternoons as well. So, kind of feel sorry for my daughter actually, because where I'm feeling really tired, my wife's feeling really tired. So, she tends to just sit up and play games. So, it's kind of nice for her, but it would be nice to be able to do a little bit more than just that in the afternoons or something. But the joys of my wife's medications, that does make her a lot more tired during the day. But hey ho, that's the joys of life. I wish I could nap during the daytime. Yeah, don't tell her that. Yeah, no. It is one of those things, unfortunately. When you feel tired, you just have to lie down. So we don't really make too many plans for the afternoon. Try and get as much as you can done in the mornings. So, there we go. Yeah, but yeah, because obviously Mr. Evil Reyes does stream quite a lot as well. I've noticed it through the night for you guys. Yeah, I'm not sure about some of the games he's been streaming though. Definitely not the sort of thing that I'd probably be playing myself. Oh, come on. There we go. Helps if we hit the right buttons. There we go. So I think other than that is good timing. It is now time for me to jump off. Ooh, thank you very much, dear. Get that saved. Let's go over to the ending screen, guys, and get some credits rolling. Not really a lot going on at the minute, but big, huge thank you to all you guys out there today. Obviously, it's a shame that Mr. Dave won't be streaming today, but obviously, like I said, he is feeling a little bit under the weather today, but hopefully he'll be back tomorrow. So let me have a little look on my list. Okay, yep, mute that. Oh look, Minecraft. Oh blimey, yipes. Fridays are definitely a very quiet day. So I think what I'm going to do is stick with the farming simulator um, theme. Let me have a little look. I've got two people currently on my um, following list who are streaming farming simulator. Let me do that. We've actually got somebody currently playing on Volcano Island. So I'm not sure if any of you guys would be interested in it. I think it'd be kind of nice for you guys to see what he's doing there. It's actually Mr. Enduro 39. Obviously, he is a member of the community. Obviously, he's on Volcano Island currently. Trying to dig up some sand from the looks of it. And having a few issues. Yeah, and I think I've raided him a couple of times before, so I think we'll go over, check him out, see what he thinks of the map. If he's going to talk, I don't know. Hopefully. So let me get my raid jobby up. There it is. There's Mr. Enduro. So we'll get this counting down. So yeah, thank you all you guys. Obviously, Mr. Darius Frost, KW Pompey, Silas Major, and T Miller, who's probably gone to bed by now. Mr. Bodine, thank you very much. Oppies, everybody else out there, thank you very much. Obviously, Green Thumb Farmer, MacGyver. I'm sort of going through this. Everyone that's out there, I don't know. I think there's a few other people there. Amethyst Neon, Hayward Industries, Gamer Paul, Green Thumb Farmer. Yeah. But yeah, big huge thank you to all you guys for coming out today. Obviously, I will be back hopefully tomorrow with my daughter doing a bit of Ark. Obviously, till then, stay safe, guys. Check out, I think it's Mr. Boomhauer tonight in about 5 hours' time. Nope, not tonight. He's not feeling very well. Goes DK, so he's taking today off. Hopefully he'll be back tomorrow. But obviously check out Boomhauer if he is streaming later. See if there is an update on how he's feeling then. But till for now anyway, that is me done. I need to go do some washing up and stuff. So stick around. Let's go support Mr. Enduro. Obviously he's a big member of the community. Till next time, guys. Stay safe. Peace.